stuck!
Don't come near me, any of you!
Back away from each other now!
Hi, he's Matt, I'm Nat, we got your geek news right here.
Now our next film is one that gave me the heebie-jeebies from the trailer alone.
And the second movie this summer to have M. Night Shyamalan's name on it.
Of course, we're talking about Devil, and let's just say it might be the first Shyamalan story in a long time where I didn't detest him or the film he made.
Well, you did enjoy Last Airbender.
But you see there, he took a step back and was just directing someone else's story. And here, what he's done is he's taken another step back into just producing another writer and another director's vision of his story. Limited roles for Knight seem to be working, rather than the egotistical, all-powerful set god he seems to be in other films, because you know what? Film is a collaborative art, Knight. So let me be the first to welcome you back to filmmaking.
Wow, bravo, Matt. That was the rant of a century. Well, you know what? I can't entirely disagree with you, so let's get right into exploring Devil as a supernatural thriller, and then we'll see how it stacks up as the latest M. Night Shyamalan project.
Keep him away from me.
Must be working on the power again.
Geniuses have done a bang-up job so far.
Right off the bat, I had a feeling Devil was going to be extra creepalicious because that trailer was just spine-tingling.
Absolutely, and there's something really off-putting about Philadelphia's aerial shots upside down. I don't know what it was, but I was just kind of scared looking at that.
Definitely creepy, especially when it was paired with that narrator right off the bat, giving you that anecdote about how his mother used to tell him the story about the devil and how he would just torment small groups of people who had sinned, just to remind everyone that he was around and how badass he was.
Now, I love that that narrator wound up being a character in the movie.
Yes.
I kept looking to see who the person with the Latin accent in the elevator would be, so it was a nice surprise when you find out who it is.
Me too. Making that realization of who it was in the movie just literally put shivers down my spine. He totally drove that story.
And the great thing about the story is, it's exactly the story you would expect after seeing the trailer.
Right. 5 people trapped in an elevator together getting picked up one by one, and one person might just be the devil.
It's a bit of a whodunit with a dose of the supernatural, which is pretty much Shyamalan's MO.
Yeah, I'll just say I predicted who the devil was right from the very beginning, which is not to say that the movie was predictable per se.
No, far from it.
No, but I'm satisfied with how it turned out because I was right.
Now, the suspense was top-notch in this, with enough twists and reveals. Basically, the moment one of them's worn off, you get a new one shivering down your spine. So it worked out really well. The movie was just good.
Yes, and the fact that the cast was a bunch of relative unknowns, which actually made the story and the characters the most important part of the film, not the actors, which was refreshing, really.
Absolutely. You're not just watching Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis. It was one of the best stories, I'd say, that Shyamalan's had since Signs.
Yeah, I totally agree. Too bad he ripped it off of Agatha Christie, though.
Oh, man, don't burst a geek's bubble like that.
I'm sorry, Matt. You know what? On that note, let's talk about Devil as the latest M. Night Shyamalan project in his sordid history of genius and garbage.
That's what you're talking about?
Everybody believes in him a little bit. Even guys like you who pretend they don't. What's this?
An apology note left at the site of a hit and run. My wife and son were killed out on Bethlehem Pike 5 years ago, but that's okay, because whoever did it is sorry. You can tell by the heartfelt apology on the back of a car wash coupon. So no, I don't believe in the devil. We don't need him. People are bad enough by themselves.
Okay, so it's unfair for me to say that Devil is a blatant ripoff of Agatha Christie, but Shyamalan has actually admitted that the story is based on Christie's novel, And Then There Were None, where a group of people with guilty pasts are trapped in an isolated location and begin to die one by one.
Okay, well, I guess that sounds pretty familiar. There I was thinking it was an original idea that didn't suck by Shyamalan.
Yeah, well, you know what? Technically, it's not supposed to be based on any source material, but it is the first out of a trilogy of stories he's calling The Night Chronicles.
Very spooky.
Yes.
Which is essentially a series of supernatural meets modern-day society stories that Shyamalan has come up with. And that's all he's done. He's just written the idea. It's not that he's doing the screenplay, he's not directing them, he's just writing the stories and letting them go. Letting them live on their own. And so he's partnering with screenwriters and directors that will then bring that idea to life as a film.
Which, let's be honest, it seems to be a formula that is actually working for him.
Yes, because he has finally removed his head out of his pretentious arse and he is finally making some decent stuff again. Like pre-The Village decent.
Yeah.
He's not trying to out-Shyamalan himself with twists within twists within twists anymore.
You know what? I have to agree. I think this might be my favorite Shyamalan film after Signs and Sixth Sense.
What about Unbreakable?
Yeah, I know people love that one, but yeah, it didn't do it for me.
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
Well, speaking of Unbreakable, the next two films in the Night Chronicles trilogy is called 12 Strangers, about basically a jury discussing a case that deals with the supernatural, which is fun. But the third one is basically adapted from the kernel of an idea that Shyamalan had for a sequel to Unbreakable.
Well, how curious. And you know what? Whoever advised him to split that epic writer, director, producer, actor ego to do projects like The Last Airbender or Devil gave him some very clever career advice, I'd say.
Definitely. And hey, we may remember this as the very summer that Shyamalan dug his way out of a dark hole of masturbatory, pretentious crap filmmaking.
Oh my gosh.
You can have hope.
No, you're right. Fingers crossed. So remember to keep your eyes right here for a look at all your geek movies and all your geek games from the two geeks who always have something to say.
And you can keep up with all our past previews and reviews and have your say on yourgeeknews.com.